Hi everyone, it's Nicole here today, and I'm really excited to be sharing a card created with an exclusive limited edition stamp set created by Fawn for Simon Says Stamp for their STAMPtember event. This stamp set is only sold at Simon Says Stamp, and it's limited edition, so once it's gone, I believe. To make my card, I first die cut this stitched rectangle from one of Fawn's new stitched rectangle stackable or Lawn Cuts collections, I guess is what I want to say. And I am using the second largest die in the large stitched rectangles collection. I stamped the greeting there along the top. There are two greetings in the Feathered Friends stamp set. This is what the stamp set I'm using today, the exclusive one. And I'm going to stamp everything in Memento Tuxedo black ink simply because I'm using Copic markers, and when I originally started this I wasn't quite sure how I would do the background of my card, and I wanted to make sure I used an ink that wouldn't bleed with the Copics. So I stamped one of the little wires there for my bird, and then made sure I had left enough room and went ahead and stitched, or pardon me, stamped the others. And then I'll fill in with the birds from the stamp set. I masked off both sides there, you can see with that yellow post-it tape. This is because I really like the look of keeping the area from the stitched design to the edge of the rectangle die cut free from any ink. I think it provides an instant matte. Maybe not so much when the background is white like this, but when I go and add the blue ink here in a little bit, you really get that feeling of a matted piece without the additional work of cutting another mat or creating one or anything like that. So it's one of my favorite techniques is to mask off that little area. To color in my bird images, I chose to use some Copic markers. Excuse me. I am using about 3 colors or 3 shades rather per color, and I thought it would be fun to create a little rainbow assortment of birds. So I'm going to go from red to orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. So I have all colors of the rainbow here for my card. I really wanted it to be bold and fun. So I'll just speed through most of the coloring here. Like I said, I'm using 3 shades per color family, and then I'm going to go in and add some additional detailing. Once I get all of my birds colored, I'll add some detail with the colorless blender, a white gel pen, a black gel pen, a regular black pen to add some eyelashes and things like that before I go ahead and add my background for my card. Part of the reason for that was as I was working here, I kind of changed my mind on how I would create my background. In fact, I cut out this portion of the video because I didn't want to keep in the quote-unquote mistake portion, but I did want to mention I originally thought I would color in my background with Copics. I was just going to kind of try it out and see how it worked. And I started with really, really light blue colors, and I'm glad I did. I didn't really like how it was looking, but I was able to salvage my project simply by covering all of that up with some distress inks from Tim Holtz. So I already know that I like distress inks, and I'm more comfortable with how they work, I think, for larger surface areas like backgrounds. And so since I didn't like what I originally thought I would do, it's okay to try to salvage your project. So that made me really happy since I went through all of the work of already coloring in all of the cute little birds and adding the detail and stuff to them. It would have really kind of been a pain to have to start from scratch and do the whole project over. Now I did take a pink marker, R21, and add some little pink cheeks to a few of the birds just for fun. I think that adds a nice little element. And I'll color in this purple bird, and then I'll get to adding the accents and things to really make the birds come to life. I love Lawn Fawn's birds. These are definitely their signature look, and they're really fun. These are a nice big size for their birds, I would say, and so easy to color. There's several different styles, as you can see, 4 different styles actually. In fact, I didn't stamp one of the birds right on the wire. I stamped it a little bit above because I thought it looked like it was kind of, you know, fluttering, maybe coming down to land on the wire or whatever. Just a fun way to add interest. Now I'm taking that colorless blender. The name is misleading. It's not really a blender, but rather it kind of moves the ink away. So it will kind of create some light spots on my birds, so it'll give them a little bit of a spotted look. It's a little bit more subtle than taking a white pen like I do a lot and adding white dot detail. Here is a fine black pen, and on the little couple of birds here that are right close together, I'm just adding some little eyelashes. And for the rest of the birds, I'll take that black gel pen from Sakura that I like and add detail to all of the eyes. And then I added a little white detail to the cheeks as well that I didn't show. Now you can see here, you can kind of see some of that faint blue in the background where I had colored with Copics, but I have stamped all these birds on some masking paper and covered them up because I'm going to be taking my ink blending tool from Ranger and a couple of colors of Distress ink. I'm going to take the Tumbled Glass and Salty Ocean and blend those together to create my background. I'm taking some of that Post-it tape now and masking off all 4 edges of my stitched rectangle design so that I keep that nice white border all the way around. Once I have everything masked off, and that was really quick, it did not take me much time at all to mask that, I'm going to go ahead and start applying my ink. And I started with the Tumbled Glass. You definitely want to start with your lighter ink first, and you can always go darker. And I'm starting off the edge of the project and working my way on in little circles, applying the ink and blending it as I go. So I'm going to cover the entire surface here. I went ahead and grabbed the Salty Ocean and pulled it in to the bottom. I decided I wanted the bottom to be a little bit darker than the top. And I like the way these 2 ink colors look together. So I'll go ahead and go back in through the top of my card with the Tumbled Glass. And then I can go back with the Salty Ocean again and even darken up certain areas more if I want to, until I have it all blended the way I want it to look. Now, the fun part I always think is pulling all those masks off, and then you have this great background. Now, I forgot to turn my video camera on. You might see those white splotches everywhere. What I did was take a paintbrush dipped in some water and just flick it over the surface to create that wicking, so I have some of those fun dot details all over the background. I apologize, I thought I turned my video camera on for that step, and I realized when I was finished that I didn't. I'm going to take the cute little heart from the Feathered Friends stamp set and create a little trio of hearts here with the Wild Cherry My Favorite Things ink. And I'll go over those hearts with the Wink Estella Clear Glitter pen to add just a little bit of glitter and glam to those cute little hearts. Now I did use my cool gray Copic markers, this is the C3, to add a little bit of shadowing and shading around some of the birds and the wire. And then I went back over it with the C1, the cool gray one, anywhere that it was a little dark to kind of help mute it a little bit or make it a little less bold. And then to bring some attention to the greeting on my card, I'm using the white gel pen from Sakura and just adding a little bit of detail along the letters. So I did that along the word friend first, and then I went ahead and thought that the word hello needed it too, and I'm glad I went ahead and did that. In real life, this adds a really nice touch. I hope maybe in the photograph here at the end of the video or at the beginning, you can see that a little bit better than you can in the video. I hope you've enjoyed this video showcasing the awesome new stamp set, Feathered Friends, the exclusive from Simon Says Stamp and Fawn for STAMPtember 2014. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Thanks for watching.